Hey everyone, welcome back to Rhythm Railroad. I'm just doing a quick video on a technique that I think I just might have stumbled upon. I don't know if this is something new or something that people have been doing for years, but I'm going to share it anyway because I found it very helpful. So here goes. I'm working on the spline with the Homasote. Yesterday, I got through all this. And it was a little tricky back there because it's a little tighter, but by wetting it, I was able to bend it. That's not the technique that I'm trying to show you. What I'm trying to show you is this here. And the reason this is a little trickier, for the obvious reason, there's no bench work down here yet. But I needed to kind of figure out, how far this loop was going to come out before I started doing bench work. So I decided to use, poles and whatever I could find, stools, to kind of like clamp it on, and then use the wall also to do that. But when I did my first piece, it broke in half, because this is Homasote, it's not wood, so it's a little bit more fragile until you start adding layers. So once you get to the third layer, it's like hard as a rock. But until then, I had some trouble. So what I wanted to share with you was that I found that if I pre-shaped them without screwing into them, because I didn't want to make any holes until I was ready to really, put it in place. So without shaping them and without having to float it like this, I decided to come up with a technique to just pre-shape them. Because what I've noticed is that, if you give it some time, it'll actually take shape to whatever you fold it. So I did a few things before, when I was working on this section, that I wasn't too happy with, so I removed it, and it actually held the contour of the shape, the contour of the curve and stuff. So here's what I did in order to do this. I pre-shaped them by doing this. Let me just walk around. This here. So it's very simple. What I did is I used my own bench work, and I used one end as a cleat and the other end as a cleat, and then I just used like some scrap piece of wood, and that's long enough to bow it. So what this is doing is just sitting there, just taking shape. The fibers actually, have to stretch. So by doing this, it helps. So once you take it off, the cleats, just put it down. It's not a lot, but it helps with the curve. It's curved. Now I could push that middle piece up more if I need to, but just that alone right there avoids the cracking. And it's so easy. I basically just, I put it down here. Sorry, I just slide it in. Just lay it on here, and then I slide the other side in like that. So, and if I want, I could just release this and bring it up. And then when I add a piece, all I have to do is basically the same thing. So this is a very stiff piece, as you can see. Let me just see if I can show you this. Obviously it has no bow to it at all. So I just stick it in here. Sorry. Stick it in there. I bend it around. Oops. Oh, I know. This is a short piece, that's why. This one goes in. And then on this side, same thing. So now, also, I push it against the side of the frame here so it has something to hold on to. So you can see, it's not stretched out yet, but that'll actually give in after a while. And then what I do, what I've been doing is, when I'm ready to use them, instead of taking the top piece, I'm taking the bottom piece, because that's the most stretched. That has the steepest angle. So I take the bottom piece out. Sorry, it's hard to do with one hand. Take the bottom piece out, and then instead of adding to the bottom, I just add to the top like I just did. So I would add the next one to the top, and then I just leave it there until I'm ready to work with it. So, you know, I think it's a good technique, and I figured I'd share it with you if you're working with Homasote, because even though you can wet it on the spot, you know, and that'll definitely work also, you know, I think this is probably a little bit easier, and you could just, it's like autopilot. So what I've been doing here is basically, you know, just adding and adding and adding. And then right now, actually, it's pulled tighter than it was before. I couldn't get this bend before. So what I did is I made it real wide. You know, I couldn't even get into the wall before. And then it started to little by little just pull it in. I go do something else, then pull it in a little more, go do something else. And eventually it got in the wall. And then I started adding this, and I did the same thing. So, you know, obviously this is gonna be, the next section is gonna pull in and go toward the benchwork again to make this turn, and then we're gonna turn it back out again and go that way. So once I have that figured out, then I, you know, maybe this is backwards, but I'll know exactly what, you know, what I need for that to work. The other thing is, I didn't know necessarily what radius I was gonna get, but I was trying to get the widest radius possible. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, how are you gonna follow your train, you know, with the way you're doing it? Well, I'm not. And the reason being is because look at the size of this wall. I can walk around in 2 seconds. Plus, this is gonna be a tunnel. So I'm basically gonna build a tunnel like this around. It's gonna be a mountain. So you're not even gonna see the train anyway. I'll have access to it from the back there. So it's gonna come in to the tunnel through there and exit here. So you're not gonna see it anyway. So I figure by the time the train is, you know, halfway through the tunnel, you're already gonna make it over to the other side. So yes, I know that's not ideal, but I just could not, let me just show you this real quick. I could not pull off you know, a nice curve if I went any closer, because I would have had to start like really early. And I wanted a little bit of a straight spot there, because I'm going to put a turnout there that's going to come out this way, and it's going to be a big industry in here. The other thing is, you know, I was told that you shouldn't have like a curve to a curve when you do an S-curve, because if you're running along equipment, it'll actually pull the coupler in the opposite direction and it'll derail. So even though this is not, it doesn't look like it's going to be straight, it is going to be straight. I gotta you know, tie it together. There's no screws in there right now. But this section from here basically to here is going to be perfectly straight. And then I'm going to start the curve. This way, you know, the cars can reset within here. You can definitely get like a 75-foot car here or longer without any problem. So that's why I'm doing that. I just didn't, I didn't see a point in, you know, taking this turn here and then pulling it super tight, you know, to get out and then, you know, back in again. I just didn't want to do that. So plus, what's the point? So you can follow it under the staircase and you know, bang your head on the lip of the staircase there. No, I'd rather just, you know, I'll follow on the train. When it gets here in the tunnel, okay, I'll walk around, and then it'll be coming out here. So, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. And there's plenty of room here to, you know, even get 2 people through here without a problem. So if there's 2 trains going, that's all good. So anyways, I just wanted to show that. All right, that's it. Thanks.